The year is 1980 something. You're sitting at home as a kid wanting a game for your Nintendo Entertainment System. That game is The Legend of Zelda: The Ocarina of Time. And if you are one of those people, there are probably some things that you did not pay attention to when you were in the Deku Tree. So today, I'm going to be telling you about 5 things that you probably already know about in the Deku Tree. When everybody stumbles upon the Deku Tree for the first time, clearly a lot of things go through your head, but the most clear thing is the robust facial features of this fine tree right here. So if you look a little closer, you can clearly see that there's eyebrows and a mustache. These two features, while many people leave it at that, if you take a little bit of a closer look, it's clearly not made out of hair, it's made out of wood, and it looks to be the same wood that's in the Deku sticks and the Deku nuts. As we take our first initial steps into the Deku Tree for the first time, many things become apparent. But besides that, there's a Skulltula on the wall as you walk into the room. Skulltulas, they are creatures that get very confusing because some people might just call them Skulltulas because of their older brother, the Big Skulltula. But if you look a little closer, these are actually on the wall, so they're different. But that's not the point. The original name for these creatures was originally cranium crawlers. And that's interesting. The deeper we get into the Deku Tree, the deeper the mysteries begin to become. And as we walk into this room, while there is a giant Deku Baba that we take out easily, there are 2 smaller eggs for Goma larvae. These eggs, well, they may just be, an enemy placed here for difficulty. Many players have started to assume that there is a larger Goma that Goma originally had to mate with to create this larva. So this means there's a massive monster that is just terrorizing Hyrule, and Link never stopped it. And no matter how much you want to ignore this problem, the deeper we go into the Deku Tree, the more obvious it becomes that many creatures have been growing in size. We can see this most clearly in the Deku Babas, and I can just imagine the damage that could be done if other creatures started growing the same way they do. If we had other creatures growing to 2 or 3 times their size, as we see in the Deku Babas, the damage that could be done to the world of this game would be tremendous. And the deeper we dive into the Deku Tree, the more scary things come to fruition. As we can see in this room, there are 3 sets of Deku Scrubs. And Deku Scrubs, as we know them, they are sentient beings. And Link just viciously assaults them. And while we soon will learn that these Deku Scrubs are serving Goma, the fact that they're sentient beings being forced to work under Goma is just a terrifying thought to even think about. And with the final depth reached, we meet Goma. And what you've missed about Goma is something that not many people have talked about. If you look deep at this armored arachnid, clearly there's some missing things that nobody has noticed. As Goma crawls towards her prey, she is very much so in pain. You can clearly tell by her red eye. And while it may not look like it, even though we're fighting Goma, if we just brought some eye drops to her, this fight would have been over in an instant, because we would have saved her from her immense pain, which is the whole reason why she took over the Deku Tree in the first place. And that was every single thing you probably did not miss inside the Deku Tree. I really hope you were enlightened by this video. If you weren't, make sure to keep that to yourself. I hope to see you in the next video.